Howdy Friday, everybody. It's me in Peace Home Studio. Co-hosts are waiting. Oh, but no face. We'll get to that in a minute. First, let's talk about... No, let's don't talk about that either. Let's wait and talk about organization because that's the really cool thing. Yesterday, Mr. Murphy got me an organization thing. And it is so cool. I put it together in no time. I put it in an empty space over there. I don't know, you can probably catch the edge of it over there, but it's right over there. And I can put all my stuff in it. Cubicle space is the best. Got it at Lowe's. $45 with tax. 30 minutes, 45 minutes to put it together. And it was like sock dolls, instant gratification. I love it. I was able to go downstairs, get some of my old books and things, children's books really, things from my kids and from me when I was a little girl, because it kind of keeps me in that frame of mind, that childlike frame of mind that helps me to create all these happy little things that I love to make. It helps to see things from a child's perspective because although, trust me, I'm so mature, sometimes in a boring way, but when I'm working in my room, this is the place where we dial down, we leave the world outside, and we just let the creative juices flow. And whatever feeds that, whatever brings a sweetness to my work, because that's sort of my focus, then that's what I want to surround myself with in my studio. So, children's books, sewing books, things that just make me happy. And I found a place for all of them in the little cubbies. They have all sizes of them. I love it because I can have some of my things on display. It clears off my workspace a little bit, and you can add to it. You could cover a whole wall with those. Oh, I love that. Creative people have a lot of things. They're very specific, and they are very technical to their purpose, which brings me to the next great thing that happened when I built this cubicle. I was able to go downstairs, like I said, grab up some of my stuff that had kind of been in storage for a while because, as you know, it takes about 3 years to settle into a new space, and I moved here almost 3 years ago. So now it's the last little dregs of nesting, settling in, really filling in the corners, filling in the crevices with my stuff, but also getting rid of some things too. But I went down and I retrieved some sewing machines. And these are great sewing. Well, one of them is a great sewing machine. The other one, not so much. The first one was my mother-in-law's sewing machine, a dressmaker and a real go-getter, a trooper. I loved it. When I first got married, she loaned me that sewing machine, and it sewed everything. A nice straight stitch, nothing fancy, good zigzag, good straight stitch, a good heavy machine that doesn't wobble and carry on when you're running those long lines of seams, and a good bright light so I could really see where I'm going with it. Sadly, it got pulled away from me and went into service for someone else, but in the end, it came back to me. And I'm really glad. I had a very close relationship with my mother-in-law. She's gone now, and this is something that reminds me of her. It reminds me of our times together. So it's a sweet little thing, and it's a hard worker. I may take it in for some maintenance, but I'm going to test it out today to see if it really works. There was a rumor that it was kind of messed up, but we'll see today. Now, the second sewing machine is kind of a poser. I happened to bumble into a really, really good demo sales thing when I was in Big Lots one day, and they convinced me that this was the best sewing machine ever. Again, nothing fancy, but a hard worker, a real stitcher. I don't really go in for all the fancy electronic or digital attachments to modern sewing machines. I like to do my own work, sort of like my husband. That's why he says he loves a Telecaster guitar, because it requires a little more ingenuity on the part of the player, but allows for much broader creativity. That's the way I feel about sewing machines. I want to do all the creating myself and leave the digital work to things that you buy at the store, things that are sort of already made. I want personality in the things I do. I want my personality in it because they're the things I do. So, 2 sewing machines. I'm going to try them out again today. The second one that I said was kind of a poser is because when I got it home, the tension. Why won't the tension stay? I took it to people to have it fixed. You sew a few good lines and then the tension just goes bonkers. That was some wasted money, and it almost made me not want to sew for several years because I didn't feel justified for getting a new sewing machine. But Mr. Murphy bought me a really nice Brother sewing machine at Walmart. He wanted to buy something nicer, but I said, no, let's just go cheap because I have these other 2. I felt kind of guilty. But you know, for a starter sewing machine, it's been really, really good. It was $130 here. I'll post a picture of it right here. So that's a good little sewing machine, but he's kind of lightweight. I've really been putting him through his paces, and he's starting to feel a little under the weather. So I may have to get him kind of maintenance too. That's why I'm trying out these others. And that's why I needed this shelf so I could have room to bring these things up, but keep them nice and orderly in the studio, because you know how it is. When you're creative, you have a lot of stuff, but you need to be able to find it when you need it. So that'll be an interesting thing to do today. Also, let's see. I made a list because sometimes I get lost. List, there you go. Let's talk about the evolution of the dolls, and then I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. I will give you, though, a little peek at what I worked on last week and sort of gave up on because you know how I am. All right, the evolution of my doll. I started working on dolls, wanting to make my own. I don't think I've ever shown you this one. This is Patience. She is an Edith Flack Ackley. Told you I really like that pattern, but I changed it up a little and gave her some joints, which the Flack Ackley doesn't have that so much. And she turned out nice. The next attempt, remember her? See, she's about the same size, but it was me still trying to bang out. It's basically the same doll. The proportions I worked on a little bit different, and they all do kind of turn out different. But you remember how much I really like their feet. I love these little flat feet. They're very cute. I love that. She has them too. See? Little flat feet. But then I got really fancy with the French doll. Oh, and she is so beautiful. And you know, she has a new home now. And that made me want to go more. And this is what she was. Remember the gal with the pink hair? I like to call her Tiffany. Found her some clothes, some extra clothes that I'd made for other dolls, and they just didn't fit. So I just sort of shoved them in a drawer, put them on her because nobody likes to sit around naked. Well, nobody I know that will admit to it. And I put on some extra clothes on her, but she was more a marriage of those two, and I liked it, but she was a little bit chunky. But we finally finished with this girl. Now, my son Micah says that she's creepy because she doesn't have a face. Maybe he's got a point there, but once I started making clothes for her, her body proportion was really great. Here, we'll compare first to last. See, here's Edith Flack Ackley, and here's mine. She's quite a bit bigger. She got bigger slowly over time. And I think this is the size I want. I want a good size, but I don't want it too large. so I can use smaller bits of fabric to dress her, but I want it big enough that I'm not, once again, lost in the tediousness. I made her a sweater. I made it up. I'm so proud of myself. It's so precious. I see so many dolls on the internet that people design themselves, and they not only make cloth accessories, but they also make knitted and crocheted accessories, little purses and things. I'm totally going to go in that direction. But I'm still kind of caught up on the feet. These are pretty. These really are very pretty little feet. But I think I'm going to go back to these. I like them. They're more, I don't know, they're just foot-like. I don't know. Maybe I'll just use both, switch back and forth, however I'm in the mood. But either way, they're fun, they're easy. And, you know, I'm such a weirdo. I love their little shoes. So that's about it. Doll evolution, organization, sewing machines. Is there anything I'm missing? No. We're going to cut it short. It's been a really busy week, and we're getting ready for Memorial Day. Make some potato salad, invite some friends over, and cook something on a grill. Meat, veg, your choice, but spend it with the people you love. Or crawl up in your studio and create things and be very quiet, and when you talk to yourself, do it really low so other people won't hear you and wonder if you're okay. Have a great weekend. Have a great week. Sorry this was a little short. Maybe I'll post a few extra pictures of some other things in here just for the funsies. Bye.